In the grim darkness of the 39th millennium, a tempestuous storm brews amid the fractured realms. It's a time of civil strife where feudal lords entrenched in their archaic ways rally against the relentless march of progress personified by the technocracy. With belligerent hearts and disdain for the wonders of technology, the feudal lords form an unholy alliance, desperate to defy the technocracy's aspirations to join the glorious Imperium. But the technocracy, a bastion of ingenuity and innovation, refuses to yield. Their valorous champions wield the tools of advancement and stand as a beacon of hope in a world cloaked in darkness. The clash between tradition and enlightenment escalates into a crescendo of conflict, threatening to consume all. Yet, when all seems lost, salvation emerges from the shadows. The Imperial Guard, renowned defenders of the Imperium, heeds the call of the beleaguered technocracy. With grim determination, they descend upon the battlefield, their mighty war engines rumbling, their disciplined ranks standing firm. Across the scarred landscape, millions of feudal knights gather, their armoured forms glinting under the ominous sky. They charge with unrestrained fury, hell-bent on crushing the technocracy's resistance, while the technocracy, bolstered by the indomitable might of the Imperial Guard, prepares for a desperate stand. In this cataclysmic clash of ideologies, lines blur between righteousness and villainy as the destiny of civilizations hangs by a thread. Amidst a thunderous cacophony of war, history unfurls its tapestry, where honor and treachery intertwine, and the annals of time will reveal the victor in this harrowing battle for supremacy. Now, this is the Imperial Guard landing zone. They need to hold this at all costs against the approaching medieval army. Should they lose the foothold here, then they will have to use an orbital bombardment and try to land again. With our tactical map overlay here, you can see that the Imperial Guard are fielding 35,500 units here, spread throughout these formations here. Taking up the center is 4,500 Cadian shock troops, and hammering down support from the rear lines, we've got 100 Basilisk artillery guns. Also on the field here, showing their might is 20 Lehman Russ battle tanks, represented by our Sherman tanks. And the feudal lords, ladies and gentlemen, have amassed a gigantic army of 1 million Empire spearmen and 1 million Empire swordsmen. That's right, 2 million feudal units are about to charge these lines. Will they be able to hold? As always, there's only one way to find out. Kicking off our battle then, you can see that the medieval army is already taking insane losses. Oh my god, them artillery shells just raining down and sending troops flying through the air. The Imperial conscripts on the front line here, hoping that these Lehman Russ / Sherman tanks here can take most of the beating while they just stand back and gun down the enemy with their auto guns. You can see here, shields raised deftly aloft, defying the bullets that are flying at them. And my god, these point-blank battle tanks here, the shells just being blasted into the enemy at point blank as they go flying through the air. Maybe these medieval lords here should not have resisted the advance of technology. However, we can see that because of their numbers, they have managed to reach the front line. Then they're proceeding to stab their way through. The poor old Imperial conscripts just plonked down on this planet and said, hey, look, there's 2 million men over there. They're about to charge at you. Good luck, chaps. If you fail, don't worry, we'll blow up this area. And at the moment, the line is falling pretty damn quickly, it must be said. 30,000 kills so far to the defenders. Them Earthquaker shells doing the work here, though. Oh my days, that is a lot of firepower. The entire Imperial Guard line here has collapsed. And Crone laughs on, ladies and gentlemen, because look at this. There is a crazy little blood wave coming down here from these two little alleyways. Oh gosh. The echoes of the Dark Gods linger on this battlefield already, ladies and gentlemen. Crone is laughing as skulls are taken. Here, though, the Imperial conscripts are getting outflanked. This is the very far line. I was expecting this one to get overwhelmed. Realistically, the tanks here are going to be the main problem, because when you've got a shield and a sword, or a spear, how the hell do you take on a tank? Well, your best bet is to climb on top of it, get in the hatch, and kill the people inside. That's going to take a lot of effort, but they have got 2 million men, and if ever there was any way to kill a tank, I'm sure it's going to be with 2 million men. At the moment, though, the Empire here are trying to charge this center line. This is going to be extremely deadly for them. You can see on the far flanks, we got these tendrils of troops reaching out over here, especially on this side. Actually, they've fully engaged on this flank over here. Empire troops charging down once again into this conscript line. However, there's a lot more guns on this side, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a much narrower funnel that they're getting put into. As you can see, they are paying for this one dearly. 71,000 kills here to the defenders so far, with 28,000 remaining. Oh my god, the Empire here just taking monumental losses. So you would kind of expect it, auto guns versus shield and sword and spear. Yeah, you kind of expect that the defenders would be having a bit of a field day at the moment, and that they are. How are we doing on our very front line? Have they actually managed to complete at least around the tanks? There's only one left. We're down to our last Lehman Ross here, valiantly standing on, defiant against the overwhelming odds around it. Them Earthquaker shells firing and providing as much support as possible here. Oh my god, death and devastation absolutely everywhere, especially on here, coming over this hill. It's an absolute death sentence. They are pushing on the far side though, bit by bit, as that last tank has probably now fallen. You can see that there'll just be a massive surge of troops in here. They come. Oh my days, look at them. Like a tyranid swarm coming down from the hills. Oh my god, there's just gunfire strafing the front lines here. The tanks firm and resolute here, ready to receive the charge. Thousands and thousands of troops are just being cut down where they stand though. Though they are not breaking their honor, their age-old traditions, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's keeping them in the fight here. They will definitely repose any technology, for the old ways were the best ways. However, the Imperium of Man wants to bring this world into its fold. After all, this eventually becomes the Imperial Fist sort of homeworld, almost. So we need to bring these chaps under heel. One day, you'll go from enemies to aspirants, and maybe some of you might even join the ranks of the Imperial Fists. At the moment, though, the Empire pushing forward, the Imperial Guard resolute in their defense, knowing that their technology can possibly carry them through the fight here. 160,000 kills, actually, to the defenders. They've actually probably got... They've actually probably got a lot more than that. It's just because the artillery is getting, environmental kills that don't count. But look at that. Oh my god. That is absolutely insane. If ever, ladies and gentlemen, there was a Warhammer scene, I think this and the Tyranids last one have been here. That is just screaming Warhammer fantasy to me. Oh my god, there's just hundreds and hundreds of men getting cut down where they stand. Blood is slowly starting to pool behind them, and yet they just keep charging in. Holy cow, look at that. The guns here, resolute, trying to defy any advancement here. And you know what? It's working. However, the flanks are falling, I think, over here. This flank is getting chewed through a little bit. How are we doing over this side? Okay, so they did manage to push through the very first line of defense here. Looks like they've managed to take out the squad that was defending and playing Overwatch, and now they're ripe and pushing right into the artillery. This is extremely, extremely bad news here for the defenders. These artillery were doing so much work here. There's 880,000 attackers left here. I don't know if the Guard are going to be able to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Sheer weight of numbers here is playing its role. Though they still do have the defensive... Oh my god, look at this! We are filling up the entire centre now with blood. That is a little bit ridiculous. This front line over here is holding. It is vital that this line holds, largely thanks to the tanks here, I think, that are here. Oh my god, they are just massacring thousands and thousands of troops here. The body pile is getting a little bit insane. How are we doing on this flank? Well, the floor is just completely covered in dead bodies. Oh my god, the guns here of the Imperial Guard are probably glowing red hot. Oh, look at this, they've actually managed to clear out this flank almost. A couple more artillery shells here, and they'll actually have cleared out most of this flank, and there it is. This flank is pretty much secure for now. However, I don't know if the Empire will have enough troops to be able to push out into that flank again. Maybe they've got enough coming from this side. Oh no, look at this. They've actually still got a lot of artillery guns here left alive at the moment. This is really impressive and crucial for the defenders, though. I will say there's a large contingent of troops now rushing that side over here. Back down on our front lines. The guns are holding out strong. The body pile is getting rather insane, it must be said. This place in particular is a quagmire of death and destruction. There is just no way in hell that I would ever want to be anyone in this fight. Look at this. They're actually having to climb up bodies now to get over there. And then they're just greeted by guns. Let's see, can we, let's get some nice slow-mos here. Look at this. As soon as they come over the top, there's just massive amounts of gunfire and cannon fire greeting them. Getting blasted right in the face here. Though it must be said, the feudal lords are making progress over here. They have pushed forward a little bit. How are we doing on our flanks over here? My God, there is just blood drenched everywhere. Oh, look at them. Like a swarm of tyranids descending here upon the Cadian shock troops in the centre. The Cadians, though, ladies and gentlemen, they are not to be underestimated. They will take a lot of these chaps with them. Look at this. Oh, my days. There is an insane amount of fire. What the hell is even going on here? Like, the troops on the front line, all they must see is just blood. That's all they can see. It's just absolute carnage and chaos. The Empire pushing forward, taking hundreds and hundreds of losses every second. In fact, let's see. Let's do a little count here and see how we go up. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So yeah, about 1,000 dying every second at the moment. That is some insane kill counter that they've got going on. 417,000 killed. They've almost done half the number here. And it is still going on. Look at them swarming round. It does look like then that they are going to lose the drop sites. It looks like we're not doing an exterminatus, but definitely some sort of orbital bombardment here. Maybe we'll focus a couple of ion cannons on the area. That should wipe out the feudal lords. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place. Perhaps they just wanted to, you know, show up and go, hey, look, we can kill you pretty easily. You know, maybe you guys want to surrender and come into the Imperium's fold. And they were like, nah, mate, we can kill you. And that's exactly what they've done, ladies and gentlemen. Blood, guts, death and destruction may be ruined across the floor here, but it cannot be denied that sheer overwhelming numbers is a quantity of its own here. The Cadian shock troops then, pretty much the last defenders here, I think now. Let's have a look around. Yeah, oh no, we have got a group over here with the Lehman Russ tank, so there is that. But pretty much everyone else now has been completely wiped out. 550,000 attackers remaining here. The Cadians, though, aren't going down without a fight. They will take thousands of these swordsmen and spearmen with them. And look at this, they're literally up to their waist in blood at the moment. That's absolutely ridiculous. How are we doing on this over here? The tanks, one by one, are falling, ladies and gentlemen. The poor Imperial conscripts wondering why they've been forsaken here on this backwards planet. Why do we need this? Why do we need this feudal world? Why do we bother? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's because the Empire always needs more meat. And my God, it looks like there's a lot of meat here that they could be converted into Imperial soldiers. However, we're going to have to bring them to heel, I think, here, ladies and gentlemen. They, unfortunately, have managed to take out our landing force here, and they've managed to secure the area. So, I think then, under, you know, the Order Astarminus 1471, the orbital bombardment of the planet must commence here momentarily. Let's get our final kills, though, before we do. So far, then, the attackers, have managed to kill 37,000 of the defenders. There's only 340 of them remaining. The defenders managed to wipe out almost half of the entire army here. Though, actually, look at this. This is how crazy it was. So, there was about 1.8 million attackers here. The defenders got 460,000 kills, and there's 500 of them 500,000 of the attackers still remaining. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, that these artillery guns over here got about 1 million kills from environmental death, basically. By flinging people through the air. They weren't killed by the artillery shell. They were just flung through the air and then killed as they fell to the earth. Over 1 million died like that. Well, about 1 million, let's call it, died like that. Which is absolutely insane. So the only defenders remaining now then, ladies and gentlemen, are the ones who were safe upon the wall. And with this, I think you know what that means. The Order of Exterminatus must begin. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button below. And if you're after some handy dandy art, links are in the description. Go check them out. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.